Fred Campos, owner of DFW Website Designers, and this is episode number 64 of your 3 business tips at 3 o'clock and under 3 minutes. As you know, it is Christmas Eve on this beautiful December rainy Thursday here in North Texas, and we've been talking this week about ideas for your business New Year's resolutions, and hopefully you take some time off and set up your new business goals and ways to expand in 2021. If you're like me, you cannot wait until 2020 is over. It has been a crazy year, both for us here in the web business as well as most of our clients dealing with this whole COVID thing. We're very excited about the vaccine. I highly encourage you to take it as soon as possible so that we can return to what will be hopefully the new normal. I hate that phrase, but that's what people say. So, what are our 3 tips that we're going to talk about today? Well, if you remember from yesterday, we were talking about different ideas that you should be evaluating. And today's ideas deal with, we're going to talk about new locations, new markets, and secondary services. Now, yesterday I talked about improving services, but when we talk about secondary services, we're talking about complementary services to your existing situation. So first things first, let's talk about new locations. For some of you, you've obviously, thanks to COVID, have been working remotely. But if you have a storefront, is there another small location that you can add? If you're in a service industry, is there a new city or new area of the company? If you were in the pest controls and maybe you've dominated at Hurst, Euless, and Bedford, can you expand to Grapevine or to Colleyville? So new locations is talking about expansions, new areas. If you're like me and you do online, is there other places now that we're kind of all been remote? Maybe for DFW Website Designers, we're now expanding into all of Texas and even nationwide, which is something we never did prior. So that's what I mean by new locations. Number 2, let's talk about new markets. Are there additional markets that are complementary to the service areas or products that you currently do? If you have a product space, is there a product that you can add to it, or is there a new way that you can market that in other areas? That's what I mean by new markets. And number 3 is secondary services. Sometimes the best way to expand is to add on a brand new service you didn't have before. So like if we're in the web design field, we could maybe go into software and mobile apps, we could go into SEO services, etc., etc. So analyze your business and think, is there a new service that you could be providing? So those are my 3 tips for you today. Again, the concept of this is about expanding revenue for 2021. And hopefully you'll consider this as part of your goals for next year. If you're like me, I'm going to try to take off both New Year's Day and the day after to both write out my goals on both a monthly and yearly basis. So as always, I want you to have a great and happy new year. Be awesome. Now go back to sleep.